You're supposed to be drowning in the scene. But what actually starts happening is that you actually start drowning. And all you can hear is the director saying, keep rolling.
I was stuck in a war country for a shoot.
That guy had a gun, took out the gun and he started shooting it.
He started shooting.
He started shooting at everything. I was actually like genuinely mentally not okay.
If you want to learn about the industry, you need to see the good parts of it, but also the things that are unspoken. You need to be very careful when you come into this industry.
One time I almost got kicked by a horse.
For me, someone who's unique will get way more roles than someone who's just pretty.
The pressure to be the lookalike of Kim Kardashian, this and that is so high.
And these type of things happen more because I think there's more people that are hungry for success, so they will accept anything just to get there. We have all these huge celebrities now that they will only date 23-year-old women.
I don't want to get sued. What is the limit of plastic surgery? We had so much fun. Questionable.
If you thought that this industry was all glamour, we're gonna tell you the truth in this episode.
I want you to imagine this. You're shooting a scene and you're supposed to be drowning in the scene. But what actually starts happening is that you actually start drowning. And all you can hear is the director saying, keep rolling, that's amazing, yeah, that looks good. Keep rolling, but you're actually this close to dying.
What?
Yeah.
That happened?
That actually happened.
You're joking.
I'm not.
Wow, that's insane. Welcome back to Two Tales One Take, guys. If you thought that this industry was all glamour, we're gonna tell you the truth in this episode.
I think so many people don't realize how insane the job is and how many insane things that you have to do. And you might actually start risking your life and maybe even losing it just for a scene.
You just said something that really blew my mind. Who was that? When it happened?
It was an actress in the movie Now You See Me.
Okay.
You know those Now You See Me is all about magic tricks and stuff.
Yes.
So in one of the scenes, the actress was supposed to be drowning, but she actually got stuck in the chain. And she tried to break free and she was actually like calling for help, like punching the window and calling for help. But the director thought she was just acting. She was just like
joking,
being a good actress. And they kept her in for 3 minutes until they realized what's actually happening.
3 minutes? So she was in the water for 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Who can do, not even like divers can do that.
Yeah, but khalas, she was almost gonna die.
Wow.
But she got stuck. So like how could she have signaled? I'm sure there was like a safety thing that she could do, but it got stuck.
That's insane.
I'm very curious to know if you actually went through something like that.
Well, I was stuck in a war country for a shoot that happened a few weeks ago. And honestly, it was quite of a traumatic experience because all of my flights were getting cancelled and I couldn't come back home. And the people on set, they kept telling me, don't worry, don't watch the news. You just need to listen to us. And I mean, I didn't know who they were. I've never met those people before in my life. And I was stuck on set for like 16, 18 hours a day, which means that I obviously didn't have much time to check of what's happening. I also didn't have Wi-Fi. I didn't really have like anywhere to check on the news of the country that I was at. And basically, yeah, it was at war and I couldn't come back home.
Oh my
so
God.
it was a bit of a difficult experience.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's very different coming from a safe place like Dubai to go somewhere else. But the first day when I got to the hotel, all the security guards had like rifles and things like that. So from the beginning, it was a bit of a shock job. But yeah, basically it was difficult.
I know the story because I've lived it with you. I was here. I was worried about you the whole time, checking on you. Everyone you knew was checking on you. But how scary is it to know that there are some productions that simply don't care? Or like, they're like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. When actually it might not be fine. You literally went to a war country and in the middle of you being there, something happened. Like
I asked production before going there. I was like, guys, I know that there's some conflict in these countries. How safe it is for me to go there? And they're like, it's all good. They kind of like made me feel like I was crazy. They're like, this is happening at this time. We have all of these celebrities in the country, so nothing can happen. I was like, okay, fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I got there, and the first night I woke up and I had so many messages from different friends saying, Billy, I hope you're safe. I hope everything is fine. Like, I've heard that this missile just like
landed
happened.
where you are.
And I was like, wait, what? It was like 6 a.m. I just woke up and I started checking all the news, and I realized that the war just started. So I had to go on set, and everyone there were like, what are you watching the news for? Just relax, just stay here, just enjoy the shoot, whatever. I couldn't stop thinking about what was happening. I was like, I'm in this country where I don't speak the language. I know no one.
And what happened is they closed all airports. It wasn't like, oh guys, this is scary for me, I can't do it, or like this is dangerous for me, I can't do
like
it, I'm
I couldn't
gonna
come back
leave.
home.
You couldn't come back home. All
No.
the airports were closed.
No.
And no one was being understand. Everyone was just like, oh yes, fine, just another day. For me, that's like insane. Like, let's say you were safe. Let's say, okay, what about your mental state?
I couldn't sleep for the nights that I was there. I couldn't sleep
And the
at
amount
all.
of panic attacks you
Yeah.
had.
I was literally like shaking in my bedroom, like, okay, what can I do now? Like, where do I go if something bigger happens? You know, like I had my parents worried, I had my partner worried. Everyone was just like, okay, this is serious. We need to like find a way to get her out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, for us, because we're not from there, it might seem like something huge and scary, etc. But for someone who maybe has lived in that country and has the family there and everyone, it's maybe something that they have experienced before. So there was a bit of like a cultural imbalance there, where I wasn't understanding their point of view and they were understanding mine.
Yeah.
So I think it's super important that before you go abroad and you do a job somewhere else, you check on their standards, on how many hours
That's
is
so
normal
true.
to shoot for them, for example, because I'm not used to shooting 16 or 18 hours a day, then going back, sleeping for a bit, and then going back. Like I don't normally do that. I know that there are countries that they do that, but I don't.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't prepared for that, everything just felt like really heavy.
Yeah.
The war zone, the hours that I was shooting, the people at the hotel with the rifles, I was there like, okay, yeah, great. But again, maybe I didn't do my research before going there. So I'm not just blaming everything on other people. I'm also saying that it's really important that before you do a job, you fully understand what you're putting yourself up to.
Yeah, that's so true. You definitely have to do the research, because some people, as you said, in some countries they would shoot to 12 hours and that's it. And then on hour 12, everyone drops everything, even if it was in the middle of the scene.
That's UK.
Yeah, that's in most countries that I worked in, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes people worked up to 16, 18, 20 hours. 20 hours is a reach, but it happened before. And
Have you worked 20 hours before?
I have worked 20 hours before. I was actually like genuinely mentally not okay. The place that we were working in, which I'll tell you two stories that happened on that same set, because it was deadly. It was insane. Thank God nothing happened.
It was
to
deadly.
me. It was deadly. Deadly stuff happened. Like
What
no
happened?
one died. What this close to dying. Thank God. Well, the place that I was in, we would go to set at like, for example, 3, 4, 5 a.m. And it was like a desert, and there was literally no Wi-Fi, nothing. Like you can't even make a phone call over there. And we would stay in that place for 16, 18 hours. And they're like, oh, you have rooms on set. We had like rooms on set. They were like just like small cubicles where you have a bed, you have a heater because it was very cold, and a mirror, and that's about it. Like no Wi-Fi, nothing. You just go and sit there, wait for your scene to start. Honestly, thankfully there were rooms on set, because imagine having to sit in the desert for so long and having nowhere to rest or sit or whatever. And I was a main role at the time, so I never really used the room. I was always
on set.
I was always on set working the 16, 18 hours. So yeah, it wasn't only me, it was everyone else. Thankfully, I was an actress. I got to like rest some days. If I don't have a scene, I can go to the room. I can, some days I don't have a shoot. But for the crew, they would come before us and leave after us. And then some of the first ADs got in a car. They were driving back home. There were 3 of them. And the first AD and some people from production, like it was first AD driving and then 2 people going back. And it's their country, so they were like, I would rather drive than have a driver drop me and pick me up. So they started driving to the hotel, and there was like an intersection. It was after a 20-hour shoot, like 3 a.m. at night, 3 a.m. at night. And like suddenly a car bumps into them. their car starts to like roll, and because we're in a desert and mountainy place, they fall off a high cliff to the point where ambulance couldn't come and pick them up. They had to bring like an ambulance helicopter. One of the guys had his back like severely injured. The other one was literally like in those things in the hospital. Wallah, all three of them got really severe injuries and they couldn't shoot for like a really long time. That's story number one, and it happened because of the exhaustion. It happened because they weren't getting enough sleep.
But you said that you had someone else bumping into them. That's not their fault.
It is their fault because they wanted to take a shortcut.
Right.
So they took a U-turn in a place they're not supposed to take a U-turn in. And it's like a highway. And they did that every single day. But on that day, they were not focused. They just wanted to go home. They were exhausted. And that happened. That's number one. Number two, on that same area, it was the land of someone. Okay? So that someone came and they started like taking videos. One of the actors was on a horse shooting the scene. And then the actor was like, that's a mistake, by the way. If you're an actor, you're not supposed to talk to people as if you're production.
Mm-hmm.
So what he did was he told the guy who's holding his phone, put your phone down. He's like, the other guy was like, this is my land. I'm going to take videos of whatever I want. And then he's like, I don't care if it's your land or your father's land. Put your phone down. It's not allowed. He was just an actor.
Yeah.
That guy had a gun. The one who owned the land, he took out the gun and he started shooting it.
He started shooting
at everything. But thankfully, he was just scaring them. Like,
what?
Yeah, he was just scaring them. So they would everyone on set just started running, like, cameras, horses, people left and right, just running away. Because it's just like, there are so many, again, so many things that we make mistakes as actresses, and we make mistakes as people in the job, but also the exhaustion and
of course,
working for so long, and
it's all like external things as well that you can't really control. If you're there for like 18 hours a day working under the heat and pressure, your brain does things that you don't even realize.
Sometimes you just like do things without really thinking them through because of the exhaustion, and then things like that happen.
Of course, that's crazy. On another set, I was in Turkey, and there was this guy who was an actor / stunt. He was doing both, and basically he had a scene where he was on a horse and he had to like gallop like really, really fast, but he was amazing on the horse. That was my first day on set. Like, I got there, I was saying hi to everyone, and then suddenly like everyone started running towards me. Ambulance. I was like, hi guys, nice to meet you all. Apparently this guy was like galloping on the horse, and there was like a stick from a tree that was like outside, like sticking out. He didn't see it. It hit him on the face. He fell down and he hit his head with a huge rock. He like opened up his brain, and he was on like intensive care for like how many months. Everyone thought that he wasn't gonna make it. Thank God he made it.
Thank God.
But imagine like a first day, get there, meeting everyone, and that happens. I was like,
with acting and like being on set generally, it's such an industry where this becomes your life. It's not something that it's a job that you go to and come back home to your life to. It all becomes your life.
Yes.
So whether you go through a traumatic event, whether you go through like an injury or whatever, it all happens within the lines of your work. People don't really realize that you're on set all the time. As long like all hours of when you're awake, especially if you're crew, you're on set. You're on set all day long, and then you go have a few hours for yourself, barely any time for yourself, then you go sleep. And people don't realize, like, people hear these things. You receive good news on set, you receive bad news, you receive all sorts of situations in life happen to you while you're on set. And so many people actually go on even after experiencing that.
It's funny because everyone thinks this industry is all about glamour and the red carpets and being in front of the camera and da. But actually, it's very important that, we speak about the truth about the industry, not just about the nice things.
Yeah, that's true. And Um, how do you think the power imbalances affect these situations?
Well, I think we spoke about it in like previous episodes already, but you need to be very careful when you come into this industry, because unfortunately, not in this industry only, like most industry, if you're powerful and you have people working for you underneath, etc., then you feel like you can do whatever you want to them. And it's very difficult for you as someone who comes underneath, or like a hungry actor, for example, who really wants to make it, to say no. And it's super important for us to like give a voice and explain the importance of not accepting whatever the people in power tells you to do, not accepting roles that maybe you don't want to do just because you want to get there quicker. A very good example is what's happening now with, I know it's in the music industry, it's not in the film industry necessarily, but a really good example is Didi's case. And I know like those, there are so many more in the film industry, in the music industry, that unfortunately these things happen. And if anything like that has ever happened to you, don't just stay quiet and speak up for next generations, future generations. There's like, not honestly, it's not just in the film industry and in the music industry. I did karate for so many years of my life, and I reached like really good levels when I was younger. I was like champion of the Canary Islands. We're going to like Spanish championships, etc. And there was this one trainer who kept telling my parents, I really want to train her. She needs to come to this next island and live there, and we'll like provide for her school and everything and accommodation. And you know, he was the trainer of the biggest champions that there were. So we were really this close to say yes, but my karate trainer at the time, he was like, no way, she's reaching all these levels for what? Now you want to move her somewhere else? Are you crazy? She's staying here. So I stayed in my island in Fuerteventura. And then a few years after, it came out the case of this guy, this trainer, this other one, who was basically an abuser, and he had created like a whole net of abuse for all of these like young sport people. And basically the reason why everyone found out about him was because there was this young kid, he was probably like 12, 13, who saw what he was doing to himself. He started doing it to his younger sister that was 3.
Oh my God.
So then he was like, I can't accept that. I need to speak up. So he started speaking, and then everyone else around him started speaking. So then obviously he's in prison now, and thank God that's done. But it's good to explain that it's not really just about the film industry and music industry. And these type of things happen more because I think there's more people that are hungry for success, so they will accept anything just to get there. But yeah, unfortunately it's something that happens.
That's really upsetting. It's crazy to me because this is the world that we live in. It has nothing to do, as you said, just with the film industry. This is something that people go through everywhere. That's why I always highlight the importance of setting boundaries, learning who you are, what you're worth, having a close circle, having people that you can trust. Like, for example, the trainer that you had, he really saved your life.
He saved my life.
Like, you really dodged the bullet. You genuinely dodged the bullet because of him. Imagine if it was someone who didn't care for you. They wouldn't.
Exactly.
Like, I'm glad that he hung on so tight to you didn't let you go. And that turned to save your life.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's the same for, I think, what we want to do with this episode is not just about speaking the negative side of acting. It's also to give voice for people that maybe are scared of using theirs. And to tell you that if anything's happened to you, speak about it. Don't just stay quiet. Don't just accept.
Start with speaking up about it with people who you trust. Because sometimes, unfortunately, when there is something that has to do with abuse, especially from someone in power, if you go and speak up really, really loudly, they have their people, they have their power. So if you start to slowly tell people around you that you trust so much what you're going through, and then discussing with them what can you do to stop the abuse, that's when change starts happening, in my opinion.
Yes.
This entire podcast is about experiences, the good and the bad. We're always like motivating people to do the right thing, to speak up for themselves, to, you know, keep going no matter what. But also it's important, because if I heard just that when I'm starting, I might just go in blind-eyed and not expecting anything bad to happen, which actually happened to me so many times. Thank God my mom was with me, because when I got into the industry, I was just like, I am gonna rule the world. I'm gonna be the superstar of the universe.
One day.
The universe. So I genuinely got into so much pain because of, I didn't realize how many people in power that don't want you to be in their place.
Yes.
Or overtake them.
Yes.
So yeah,
Not just people in power. There's a lot of people in the industry who will only use you for networking, or when you start doing well, they leech onto you just because they want to, you know, try and get to know this director and this and this and that. So it's very important that it's not just about like a power thing, but also you know who to trust and who are your real friends.
Honestly, you have to be aware that this industry is like that. Like, you'll need to network, people will use each other all the time. It's just know when someone is using you and know when you're using them. Don't be don't lie and be like, no, I'm only like friends with you because I just genuinely really love you. Like, that is true, that happens all the time. But just be aware that when you're befriending someone because you want something from them, at least be honest with yourself. And when someone is befriending you because they want something from you, you'll know. You'll know. And just know within yourself, do I actually want to give them that thing or no? That's basically it.
There's another thing that I wanted to talk in this episode, that I see it happening every time more and more and more and more, and I want to have your opinion on this. The fear of aging, especially for women, because you're constantly on the camera. You need to always you look young. You need to, you know, keep your youth, etc. And the abuse of plastic surgery that it's happening, again, from women and men, but especially for women. So, how do you think this is affecting us as actors?
Okay, I'll start off by saying one thing. I'm not against plastic surgery.
No, me neither.
I love plastic surgery. I love fillers. I love Botox. I love all of these things. I love them because as women, we have this, I don't know if it's a thing within that we like to feel beautiful, but also when we started growing up, it's like a need, and it starts becoming like an expectation for you to feel beautiful.
I think it's not about pretty, it's about being unique.
Okay.
It's not about if you're the prettiest. Also, what is pretty? What pretty standard we're talking about? Are we talking about the Western? Are we talking about the Arab? Which pretty standard are we talking about? For me, someone who's unique will get way more roles than someone who's just pretty. There's this girl, for example, in White Lotus.
I agree with that.
But you know,
I'm not saying
Amy Lou. You know Amy Lou in White Lotus?
No.
She had so much backlash because of her teeth. We'll put a picture here. She, to me, so beautiful, but she has huge teeth.
Yeah.
And people were talking about her, oh, she's a rabbit and this and this and that. She's unique, and she has this like special face that will get recognized everywhere she goes. For me, someone who's just pretty is not someone who's necessarily memorable. For me, someone who's memorable will get way more roles than someone who's just like standardly beautiful. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get Botox and fillers for that.
Wait, I'm not against plastic surgery, fillers, or Botox, or anything that makes you feel more beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that we are expected to be so beautiful and perfect all the time that at this point we're starting to abuse it. By we, I mean us as a society. We are starting to take it too far, and so many actresses, in my opinion, are taking it too far. And the thing about acting is you want to look real. You want to look like, as you said, someone who's unique. You want to look, not necessarily unique.
You want to look like yourself.
You want to look like a human, basically. And you want to look like someone who you will see in society.
Yeah.
So taking it too far and, you know, having this obsession of like wanting to change yourself to get more roles, basically, or to be seen more, I don't agree with it. It could get too much at one point.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It gets to a point that you look at people and you're like,
They all look the same.
who are you? You
Yeah.
look the same. We've got 300,000 Kim Kardashians now wanting to do acting.
Yeah.
Like, what's unique about? I don't want to watch a movie and be like, what's her? Is she upset? Is she happy? Is she
Yeah.
smiling? What's that expression? So many actresses now even
And it
like
sucks.
huge actresses are getting to a point in age where they're getting older, and because they want to stay young, they fully fill their face with Botox, and you look
Yeah.
at them and you're like, is she crying or is she laughing? What's
Laughing
wrong
or
with her?
she's Smiling.
I don't like that. I
I-
genuinely don't like that. And there's a problem that we have now with, especially acting, because we're constantly in front of the camera, we get judged. There's this woman.
And there's so many insecurities that arise because
Yeah,
of
course.
because of the
You're
people that watch you.
You're constantly being judged by everyone who watches
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's this woman, I need to check now her name, but basically she was told that she was too old to act alongside her love interest in this movie, and she was 37 and he was 55, and she was too old to act in that movie because like
That is insane.
those expectations are not
the
real.
expectations are becoming unreal. Honestly.
Completely unreal.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact that we have all of these like huge, I'm not naming, but we have all these huge celebrities now that they will only date
know.
23-year-old women. When they turn 26, they say halas, bye.
Yeah.
That somehow impacts younger generation into wanting to
Yeah.
like just fill their face with Botox so that we don't age. Aging is normal, is beautiful.
Yeah.
And to me, the more gracefully you age, the more real you will stay.
Yeah.
And I would much rather age graceful. I'm not saying don't do fillers, don't do this.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like do it if that makes you feel good. But aging gracefully, to me, will give you more opportunities than getting to the point where you're literally one stiff face who can't laugh or can't smile. Or
Yeah,
can't-
that I agree with. Also, at one, like, you will always need a mother in a series or a show. You'll always need a dad. You'll always need a grandma. You'll always
Yeah.
need an aunt. You'll always need a teacher or whatever.
Exactly.
I have so many stories that I'm gonna tell you later. I can't say them now. I can't be that unfiltered. I don't want to get sued. But genuinely, like, maybe that's the preference. It's fine. Is it something I want to do? No. Do I want to look like everyone else? No. If I wanted to, I think I would have by now. Because the pressure is so high.
The pressure is so high.
The pressure to be the lookalike of Kim Kardashian, this and that is so high.
It really affects people mentally as well.
Yeah. Like, how many times have you gotten on TikTok, seen like 5 nose jobs and being like, I'm getting a nose job? Has that ever happened to you? No? It's happened to me.
You've got beautiful nose.
Thank you.
But no, I mean, I like my nose, but maybe
Yeah.
I'm like, I will get my lips done or other things. you
Yeah,
know?
not just the nose, like generally
Yeah.
anything. Like
Yeah.
someone gets a BBL and you're like,
No, that's never happening. Have you ever thought of that?
yeah, I've thought of that. When I was 15. I was 15.
No.
I was 15 and
BBL Rahab. BBL Rahab. Oh my god.
See, that's the good thing about having good friends. If I consider getting a nose job or a BBL, I know she's gonna slap me.
Yeah, I will not speak to you ever again.
Imagine.
I will seriously not speak to you ever again
No,
if
no.
you get a BBL.
Imagine I walk into your house and with
You're
a
not
BBL.
walking into a house. No.
What is the limit? What is the limit of plastic surgery? What is the limit of...
As long as you look like yourself.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Like, I want to see you. I want to look at you. I want to see Rahab. I want to see when you're angry. I want to see when you're happy. I want to see
Yeah.
your expressions. That's to me my limit. But again, who am I? You know, like
Yeah.
everyone's has different limits. Everyone's
I
got
really
different.
hope I don't change my mind. I'm someone who changes their mind a lot.
About what?
About this. Like, for now, I love looking like me. I hope forever I keep like wanting to age gracefully. I would be happy to see the lines forming. Like, I like my smile lines. It shows how much I've laughed. I like those those
the
lines over
crowds.
like it's because I laugh so much, so obviously they're gonna be very prominent even more as I age.
Yes.
But it's there's so much pressure, and I really hope that I stick to this belief of like, I want to look like myself. I wanna have my emotions in my face. I want to be angry and look angry. I want to be happy and look happy.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, whoever wants to do it, no judgment, whatever you do, you babes, if that makes you happy. Is it something I want to do? No, for now. Is it something that if my friend came up to me and told me they want to do, I will tell them like, oh, just be careful not to go too far.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Okay, that's good. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, okay, aside from the personal stories, the industry is crazy. We love this place. There are so many amazing things that could happen and life-changing things. This industry changed my life to the better, and it has made me so much stronger. It has made me the person that I am today. But I would like to share some other stories of like people around the world, Jackie Chan, Tom Cruise, these names, and share like even the dangers they've been through.
Yeah, it's not just the danger. It's about
Dedication.
the dedication and how you need to see how. So if you want to learn about the industry, you need to see the good parts of it, but also the things that are unspoken. And we have a few of those stories that we would like to share with you, just so that you see that it's not just us, sharing our own experiences, but also huge celebrities that have gone through these things and have spoken about it.
Yes.
So, would you like to start?
I'm gonna start because I have, and because also you would think that, oh, the production is not good, that's why they've been through. No, mistakes happen all the time.
Exactly.
Especially to the biggest people,
Yes.
as you said. So, for example, Tom Cruise had a plane stunt gone wrong in American Made. He was piloting a small plane during filming when it crashed, killing 2 crew members and nearly him. Oh, that's bad.
What?
He survived but said the crash shook him deeply. He often insists on doing his own stunts, but this one was almost fatal.
2 people died?
That's what I have here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I will be able to do my stunts after that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's sad.
I have another story.
Yeah.
Halle Berry, multiple near deaths.
Oh.
This one is funny.
Yeah, this one a bit, yeah.
She choked on a fig during a sex scene with Pierce Brosnan in Die Another Day. Okay, so the name of the story and what happened is actually very funny.
3.
Yeah, a light fixture fell on her head during Catwoman. And the third one, she broke her arm, hit her head on concrete, and injured her eye in different roles. She's lived everything. She's lived through everything.
Yeah, but like, honestly, how many times have you hit your head and stuff, injured your eye? You know, something fell on you on set.
Yeah, it's not too crazy.
So many things. One time I almost got kicked by a horse.
Okay.
يعني very common for weird things to happen on set. Okay, another story is Jackie Chan. I like stuntmen.
Jackie Chan is fun.
Jackie Chan skull cracked open while filming Armor of God. Jackie fell from a tree, cracked his skull open, and a piece of bone went into his brain. He still has a hole in his head filled with a metal plate. And he kept working like the legend.
Nothing happened.
He's Jackie Chan.
He's the king.
He's made out of steel, by the way, just letting you know. He doesn't have bones and flesh like us. He has steel. Stainless steel covered in diamonds.
Oh, how amazing will it be to have Jackie Chan in the podcast one day?
Jackie Chan, please.
Please, we love you. We always
really
talk about
love
you.
And I watch your stunts and I really like them. And
we want to be your friends.
Like wouldn't it be nice if we were like sitting over there? Like,
does he speak? He speaks English, right?
Yeah, he speaks English.
Okay.
But I think
we might need a translator.
I don't mind.
Okay, it's Jackie Chan. We'll do anything for you, Jackie Chan.
We'll come to you, to China.
Yes.
You have any stories?
No, I think we can wrap.
Okay, well, let's wrap. Yalla, laugh. Keep this in, okay? Every single episode, we just laugh uncontrollably, 10 to 15 minutes.
We've been good today.
Yeah, we've been good.
I think it's because the tone of the episode was a bit
dark. A bit.
We promise you the next topic will be more uplifting.
Hopefully.
And we want you to remind you that this is the most beautiful industry in the world.
Yep.
We love it, we love it, we love it. We're passionate about it. But it's important that you know the pros and the cons. Good things happen and bad things happen. You need to know all of it.
And you need to be careful. You need to learn and not have so that you don't have the same outcome as other people.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
We had so much fun. Questionable. We enjoyed telling you the stories today, and we hope to see you in another episode. And please share this with anyone who's into weird stories. Like
and if you have any stories that you want to share with us or that you want us to speak in the next episode, please, 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 as always,
I
you can
really
send
want
us
to
a
know.
DM.
I really want to know your weird stories. Please tell me your weird on-set stories. We
Yes.
can make a whole episode about that. Another one.
Okay, guys.
Bye bye.
See you.